Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing KO Transformers Masterpiece Exhaust. This is a knockoff of the official Takara Tomy release that had a lot of controversy. One reason I got this figure is because kind of some of the history behind it. I actually don't collect any of the variants of any of the Takara Masterpiece figures. For example, I don't have the MP-23 or any of the color variants that came out so far. This is really the only variant I've got. I'm strictly a G1 cartoon, Transformers cartoon collector. But because of the history and because of how cool this figure is, I decided to get the KO of it when I found that it was coming out. The actual figure, the Takara figure, they had actually had some issues because this design of the symbol here too closely matched the Philip Morris or Marlboro logo. So Marlboro basically sued, or not sued, but gave Takara a cease and desist order on distributing these. So Takara, before they actually distribute any of these, decided to change the design, change the pattern of the logo. And it now no longer looks like the Marlboro logo. And then they went off to try to redistribute the new one, the new version, the redesigned version, and Marlboro still came after them. Philip Morris still was unhappy with the changes and still thought this was too close representation of their logo, and therefore they tried to halt the sales. Now in the United States, this was not available. I couldn't get my hands on this via my normal purchasing methods. The only way was to get this on eBay, and on eBay this had gotten marked up almost double the price. This was originally for sale. I think it was $75 on TF Source, BBTS, all the standard Transformers purchasing sites. On eBay, this was going for $140, $150, pretty high prices because it was very hard to come by. There weren't a lot of them. So I think the KO company really did us a favor and decided to make this figure, which this KO figure is about $35 on eBay now. You can get it shipped. It takes a while, it takes about a month, but I'm very happy that the KO company finally decided to make this figure. I now will have an alternate figure to display in car mode for my MP-21 wheeljack. So I'm happy that they made this. Anyway, let's take a look at the box. If you watched my KO wheeljack review, I go over pretty much the differences on the box, so I'm not going to spend too much time this time, other than to say it's the same differences. You've got the Takara Tomy instead of Takara Tomy, and then you've got MP-23 instead of just the Autobot symbol and then MP-23. And same everywhere, all over the box, exact same change everywhere. On the back, same thing, MP-23. All the other images, all of the other features on here are the same. The back of the box has some differences from wheeljack, so I'm going to go over them. First off, he comes with two shoulder cannons instead of just the one like wheeljack. He also comes with this immobilizer unit, so that's a separate thing that wheeljack did not come with. Now the KO wheeljack comes with the anti-hypnotic device, which I did show in my other reviews. So if you're interested in seeing that, watch my KO wheeljack review. But this is basically the device, kind of the opposite of what he had. You've also got a picture of Soundwave here. I mean, it looks like he's just sort of standing there. I'm not sure why he's there in this picture. Maybe because they kind of go together. He's a Decepticon, but I really don't understand what the relationship is. I never watched, I don't know much about Diaclone. This is a Diaclone figure, or it's based on a Diaclone figure. I don't know anything about that series or about that storyline. So to me, I don't really understand what this figure means. I just thought it was cool, so I wanted to get it. But that's about it for differences on the box. Again, no Lancia logo like all the other KO figures that came with the fake, you know, hologram or fake signal. This one does not. You know, this one and also MP-KO Wheeljack do not come with the official licensed logo. That's about it for the box. So let's get it open and take a look what we have for packaging. You get quite a bit of stuff in this package. You've got the figure itself, and it looks pretty good in the package. You got the immobilizer, you've got the 2 shoulder cannons, and you've got the handgun. So quite a bit included in here. It looks like almost, you know, I'd say 90% of the plastic is actually filled with stuff, which I always like. Let's take the figure out here, get all the other stuff moved out of the way, and we'll take a look at this. First glance, pretty nice figure. The paint is sort of it's not glossy. I mean, it is glossy, but it's not as glossy. It has a little bit of a matte to it. I do kind of like it, but it's sort of different from Wheeljack. I'm going to grab Wheeljack. So here's Wheeljack. You know, I have him in robot mode here, but his paint is kind of glossy and shiny, whereas the exhaust almost has this like matte orange finish. I still like it. I like the color, the paint color. I like the blue windshield. I think that looks really, really nice. But yeah, I mean, and this is different too. They really made a difference here. Instead of making it this painted color, it's all black. So, you know, it has some differences from Wheeljack, and I like that. I like that it's just distinguished a little bit. Now, one of all the issues that came with the KO Wheeljack appear to be with this figure too, and I'll kind of go over that. But first, let's get the weapons out here. Now you do have something similar to Wheeljack. It's kind of a smaller Wheeljack. It's kind of a shorter version of the cannon, little mini cannon, and it does actually fit in. He's got a little, just like Wheeljack, he's got the you know, pop-up piece here. It actually, on the KO version, it doesn't really pop up too well, but they've made this kind of different. So you've got two. First you got two because one on each shoulder. So if you put it together, oh, wrong way. Come on. Put it together, and then this one has a little piece on the side to attach the other one. So you can kind of get them both together, and then they both attach there. Now, that looks kind of stupid. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of having both on there. And it also is kind of loose, so it doesn't want to stay. So let me make an adjustment here. You know, it doesn't want to stay in there, it kind of falls off. That's kind of what you get with a KO, but they have fixed this problem. At least on the KO Wheeljack, there was a pin missing that prevented it from standing up like this. So you can put both of them, they both fit in here just fine. Oop, sorry about that. They both fit in here, and they both, you know, can be angled upwards. So I prefer to have just the one. Oh, it keeps popping up. Maybe this is an issue. Okay, well, I didn't notice that before, but this apparently wants to pop out. Anyway, I would prefer to have the one. You know, having the two kind of looks weird, and it's not really my cup of tea, I would say. So get rid of that. Now in vehicle mode, this doesn't really do anything, but let's put it together so you can kind of see what it looks like. Got a little base here, attaches on the bottom, and that sits like that. And then you've got this little black piece that kind of plugs in on the top, and then this little gray piece that plugs into that. Now, I don't know the story behind this. I don't know what this is supposed to do. I think it's a hypnotizer or mobilizer or something like that. You know, something the Decepticons used against the Autobots. This figure wasn't in the G1 cartoon, so I don't know what, you know, what his story is, but it obviously comes with this. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a nice little extra thing that comes with him, so I like the fact they included this. I mean, it doesn't do anything, it just kind of stands there, but it's neat that they included that. Let's take a quick look at the instructions and also the card here. Now, he does come with the rear view mirrors. We'll put those on in just a minute. He also comes with his trading card. This looks a lot like or similar artwork to the Ultra Magnus figure. Had kind of a similar look. The back is the traditional Masterpiece card look, but the front definitely different and definitely a departure from the, you know, at least compared to MP-21 exhaust, it's definitely different. Let me just grab that card. Now you can see it definitely has a different look. You know, they went with the stylized art here. I like it. It looks cool. I'm probably going to display this side. So again, note that you have the CMP-23 instead of just MP-23. That's unique to these KO figures. They're branding themselves, I guess. It's kind of weird, but they're taking credit for their knockoff whatever. Here you have the instructions. These look like an exact copy. Pretty good quality. I do like this animation up here. That's really neat. They've got an animation of the actual figure. Everything else is pretty much the same. Shows you how to put together the stabilizer. That's a little bit new, or the immobilizer. I'm sorry. This is a little new. Shows you can actually hold the immobilizer in his hand. We'll show that off when we get to robot mode. But that's about it for for the instructions. They're standard Takara instructions. I do like that they use color. Well, not Takara, I'm sorry, these are KO, but this is just a copy of the Takara instructions. So, pretty good. You know, KO quality is just fine for this. Now, we'll take a quick look at the rear view mirrors here. And they did include actually two sets. Well, this plastic feels kind of cheap. The bag that it's stored in, it feels very cheap. I'm just gonna stick these on here. Not really gonna spend a lot of time on this, but just for the sake of showing it off and making sure it works. Yep, and it fits just fine. And it's nice and tight, no problem. So no issue with this, as usual. It doesn't have any problems. Now I don't like the fact that, see this one, because the bag was so cheap, kind of ruined this one. But whatever, it's an extra piece that I'm never going to use. These rear view mirrors don't tend to break, so there's no reason to really have another pair. So just kind of extra garbage. I'll put the other one in here. And okay, so no issues with the rear view mirrors, fitment, or anything like that. It looks just fine, and they're pretty tight, so I think that looks good. We do have the same flaw as the KO wheeljack flaw. I went over this. The gun will not fit on the exhaust, and it has to do with this piece right here. the slot that it's supposed to go into is either not deep enough or not the right size, and this won't fit. I know it's not the gun because this gun works or fits with the Takara version of Wheeljack. So the gun is fine. It's nothing wrong with the gun. It's really the fitment here is a problem, and that's a little unfortunate. I'm sure you could probably make an adjustment, but I don't plan to do that. It just seems like a pain in the butt, and I'm okay if this kind of sits on the side. Well, we'll see. Maybe maybe in another video I'll do a how to fix that. Sorry, I was trying to get this thing to pop up. It looks like it actually gets jammed in there, and it won't pop back up once it's in. Oh, now it's gone all the way in. So this looks like another little flaw here is the little pop-up button doesn't always pop up quite right, so it leaves a little gap, but whatever. There are some, I am noticing a little bit of paint, hoping that's coming across camera. There's a little bit of like missing paint, or maybe it's not that they missed a gloss, I guess, but it looks a little weird. But I really like this black piece here. It looks nice. Don't have the same flaw with the spoiler that I had with the other figure where it wouldn't hold together. This one seems to be holding together okay. It's not perfect, but as far as rolling, no problems there. It's perfectly flat and rolls just fine. The wheels look good there. I don't see any major overpaint or underpaint problems. Again, I don't have the original Takara figure to compare, so I'm just going off of pictures and other reviews I've seen. But from the looks of it, it appears that this figure is pretty close to the original. I can't detect any major flaws. So that's about it for vehicle mode. We'll get this guy transformed into robot mode, and then I'll be right back and we'll do a little bit of comparison with Wheeljack. Okay guys, we're back from transforming, and this figure looks awesome. I'm really impressed. I gotta give Takara credit for designing really, a different figure off of the same mold. It looks quite different. And I'll explain kind of why, what makes him different, but it's just awesome looking figure. I don't know how to explain the color scheme. I really like this black, it kind of makes him look a little evil. We'll get Wheeljack into a similar stance here. You can really see, first of all, he's got a different number. He's 598 instead of 539. He also has, kind of black, where Wheeljack has the red, green, and white. And on the front, big obvious difference face. Totally different face. I'll try to get a close up here. So, really, they just redesigned the head completely. These pieces right here are very flimsy. I don't know if the original, Takara version is that flimsy, but the KO version really is. It feels like it's gonna break off if I put a little too much pressure while transforming. But great head sculpt, amazing head sculpt. One of the best. I think the best Decepticon head sculpt I have, other than Apollyon, which isn't even a Takara figure. So awesome job, and this is a KO, but Takara did an amazing job with this head sculpt. So some of the difference, obviously the head sculpt was different. The blue wings instead of the translucent gray. You got the translucent blue windshield. And something I missed earlier, and I apologize, the feet, which were in car mode, they were the kind of the front spoiler, or the front air dam. They have blue lights and a blue grill. If you don't remember, the original Wheeljack figure had gray, translucent gray headlights and had gray grill. So That's really cool. I love the fact that they changed that into the translucent blue to really make this figure stand out and be different. What amazes me more is the KO company. This is incredibly well done. You know, he's not without flaw, and you know, I did show that the gun does not attach in vehicle mode. Let's take a look and see how it fits in robot mode. It does look like it's pretty tight. Well, it is very tight, and it's not a perfect fit, but you can get it in there. And then let's take a look at this thing. You gotta take the base off, and then supposedly his hand fits in his hand. Doesn't seem like it should, but it does. Okay, that's pretty cool. So there you go. He is not a great fit. I guess that's the best you're gonna get. He can hold it. It just is a little awkward. Trying to see what he looks like on the box. Well, I guess in the picture they've got it like this. They took off this little black piece and they just put the white piece in there, and they've got it like that. So maybe that's how it's supposed to be displayed. Again, I don't know anything about this figure, so if I'm doing this wrong, forgive me. But I wonder if yeah, it doesn't fit too great. But it looks awesome. I mean, the look of this figure, the look of the weapon, the look of his gun. Oh, that's about the same. It's actually slightly different. This one, the Wheeljack one, is a little bit more shiny. This one's more matte. The whole figure is a little more matte, actually. The orange is more matte. The white is a little, well, it's probably the same. But then the blue, translucent blue, really stands out. I'm loving this figure. I think this is almost as good as Wheeljack, maybe even better. And I don't even know who this character is. And I just like it. Oh, I almost forgot about the shoulder cannons here. Let's get those in. And this time it looks like they fixed the issue with the shoulder cannons falling down. So they do look like they'll stay up if you want them up, or go down. And wow, even better. You know, this is a great look, great character. I have no connection to Exhaust or whatever, Marlboro. I think his original name was Marlboro, but then they had to change that because it was too close to Marlboro, and Philip Morris would have sued them for that too. So on the box you see Exhaust, and you know, they just renamed him because they were trying to avoid that whole situation. So, you know, I give Takara props. They really tried to get this figure out to people. They made the change. They changed the logo, you know, down here. You know, if I show you the box again, it was kind of like right here. But still, Philip Morris, I don't know, they've got something up their butt that they can't have Takara selling this figure just because it's even close to the likeness of the Marlboro, you know, the Marlboro emblem. So I love the fact that the KO company decided to make this. I'm really a big fan of this figure. I would definitely recommend this for anybody who wanted to get Exhaust but couldn't avoid the markup price after he got pulled from the market. You can get this guy on eBay, 35 bucks. I unfortunately paid 40 bucks because I got it a little bit earlier and the quantity was limited. Now there's plenty of them, so you can get your own for, you know, 33 to 35 bucks shipped from China. It takes a while, you know, it takes a month or so to get here, but definitely worth it. Definitely one of the better KO figures. You know, I don't really care that they are renaming things to Casa Tony and that they have a CMP instead of MP. Those things don't bother me. Sorry, I'm actually looking for the Tomy marking, and again, I've lost track of it. This happened to me in the other review too. I believe it's on the back of a panel that I folded away. But anyway, I don't care that they're, you know, this is a knockoff, because it's done so well that it's hard to not appreciate. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Probably not. I'll try to give it an angle here. Right here it says Tony. So instead of Tomy, the original Wheeljack figure says Tomy. This says Tony. Obvious difference. If you ever mix the two up, you know this is the KO figure. I just wanted to point that out. This is also KO, so this one says Tony as well. I have the original. I'm probably going to sell it now that I have both of these guys. I have no need for the Takara version, which is, you know, almost $80. I think it was like 75 bucks. This guy for $35, well worth the money, even if you get these little flaws like the gun doesn't fit in his exhaust port on the bottom. And oh, well, actually that's about it. That's about the only flaw I've found. I mean, this doesn't fit perfectly, but I have a feeling it doesn't fit perfectly in the Takara version either. I mean, I'm not planning to put this in his hand because it looks kind of weird. I'd rather have it, you know, kind of on the floor. It just looks like it's meant to stand up on its own. You know, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be a weapon that you hold. Yeah, I'd rather have it like that. Plus, he's already got 2 shoulder cannons and a handgun. How many weapons does he need? You know, so I think I'm just going to leave this down here, and it looks just fine. It's actually very nice paint. I think it's just a metallic orange, but there's something really cool about it. And there's obviously some underpaint on the top here, but still a beautiful little extra thing that they included. I don't know if the Takara version looks like this. I think probably does, but I'm amazed they're even able to copy the paint color that closely, because this looks really nice. So definitely recommend this to anybody who wanted exhaust, couldn't get a hold of him. A great figure, definitely worth the money. I'm just trying to show the box here. Go ahead and pick yours up from eBay. You're not going to regret it. Now there are obviously inconsistencies. Sometimes you might get a figure with something not quite right, but it looks like the KO companies are starting to have pretty consistent results. So in one KO box, you have the same flaw that you have in another. So that's sort of a weird thing. You have quality control giving you the same flaw over and over. So maybe you have good quality control because you're making it the exact same way, the same time, you know, over and over. Now this flaw with the gun not fitting in the bottom, that's been repeated over and over and over. I mean, they've made all these figures and same problem. So it seems like the KO company has got pretty consistent quality. Now you can argue whether it's good or bad, but it's consistent. So I think they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep making copies of the Takara figures. They're going to be, you know, Takase Tony, but no one's stopping them, and it looks like they're going to continue on. It looks like they're actually coming out with a whole bunch of Optimus Primes, and next they're working on, I think, Ultra Magnus even. So it doesn't appear to be the end of KO anytime soon. So I'm excited. I'll definitely continue getting the KOs and doing the reviews. Definitely leave me any comments if you have any comments or questions. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'm not a sponsored reviewer, so the more comments, the more thumbs up, the more subscriptions I get, the more reviews I can make. Because really, you know, I don't get paid to do this. It's just a hobby. I pay for all these figures. I pay for the camera. I pay for all my supplies. So I'm really just doing this for the fans and to, you know, get positive feedback from you guys. So definitely, you know, I appreciate any comments you have. My next figure, which was supposed to come first, but it got delayed, it's going to be DX9 D06, which is the Rodimus Prime. They called it Carry, but it's their Rodimus Prime homage. I'm very excited about that figure. My collection consists of only Takara or KO versions of the official releases. The only reason I'm getting the DX9 figure is the Takara version of Rodimus Prime was so poor that I wanted a replacement. So I'm excited to do that review. That'll be the next one. So definitely come back and watch that one when it comes out. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.